All right, well, welcome to lesson 14. All right, let's go over all of the information. Okay, so this, I'm using IE. I click on show all content. You may not have that same issue. You need to right click this and open in a new tab and it will come up, okay? All right, now, that is just basically to get you ready and to learn how important it is not to have a high similarity rate because your essay will not be graded. Okay, this is a research essay, so make sure you watch that. All right, now, these are always the same. You really need to pay attention to this. Go through this information. There is a practice quiz, a fun quiz related to this information this week. If you're using SPC's Library Online and you're checking the box where it says peer-reviewed sources, this is not as much of a problem. That would be my recommendation. If I was writing this paper, I would make sure all my resources, all my sources were peer-reviewed. 2 out of your 3 sources need to be peer-reviewed. All right, there's another one from Little Brown on avoiding plagiarism from the OWL at Purdue, which you can look at. The other information is from Little Brown, which is optional if you bought it. And there's a sample essay, which we'll talk about in a minute. All right, now, this is good to look at. However, please note that this essay was written in MLA format, and you're going to use APA. So while the structure of the essay is good, please note that the in-text citation and your references page will be slightly different because you're using APA, not MLA. Okay, but it's still a good thing to look at because it kind of gives you an idea of what a student research paper should look like. Okay, this is on 5 Myths About Immigration, which you need to look at because you have discussion posts related to it. Make sure you understand the information. This is on selling addiction to women. Make sure you look at this. Again, you want to. This is if you don't get peer-reviewed sources. If you just, for your third source, if you're going to just go out on the internet, then you want to make sure you have an author and she has some he or she has some credibility, and you can always read about that author. That lends credence to who your sources are. But again, if you click on peer-reviewed through SPC's Library Online, you don't have any issues with any of that because that's all you'll get are peer-reviewed sources. It's just a little checkbox when you go on Library Online. This is the practice quiz. It's not graded, so don't panic. It is difficult. Here's a sample reference page in APA format. All of this, now the formatting looks a little wacky when I put it into my courses for some reason, but just so you know, your references page should be centered. You should have to have the hanging indent, and it should all be double spaced, and it all should be in Times New Roman font, 12 point, which you know, and then of course the other information, you know, the way the journal articles need to be in italics, and this needs to be in italics, but not, you know, other items in it. This should not be in italics right here, the 4. So those are things that you need to look at. The 1 is not in italics, but the number outside is. So, you know, those are all little things that I look at. Okay, and then this is actually graded, so you need to make sure that you understand everything about plagiarism before you take it. You have your Norton Sampler. You need to read this information in your chapter 12 and answer these questions. Plus, you need to choose one story from the remainder of the chapter and write a 1-page analysis stating why you thought the author's argument was effective or not. And you can give your opinion of why you agreed or disagreed with the author and discuss the tactics the author used to win over the audience. Did the author use ethos, logos, or pathos? You have a discussion post here that you need to answer. You have your persuasive research draft for peer review. You need to answer these questions for 2 of your classmates. At least 2 of your classmates, okay? And answer all of these questions in detail to get your full points. All right, as always, let me know if you have any questions, and good luck. Enjoy.